to Primal Avatar. We grab. So there's our Epic Strike, right? Now we've got our... This is a giant heal for us. We also get extra charisma there. There's our evergreen, meaning that we'll get free spell points. Here's our enchantment. And then here, well, this kind of sucks, this thunder snow, but this gives us access to Shard Storm, which gives us temporary hit points. So that will, not only will we have access to this as a heal, but now we have these temporary hit points. So I think overall this is a little bit stronger. And we want, yeah, there's Cocoon. So now we have 2 heals and temporary hit points that we can use. And you'll see right away, like it'll be like night and day how much easier it'll be. My normal build utilizes Renewal and Cocoon. You know, because I do like a modified, I'm an enchanter, but I do like a modified minion build because I use the Heart ally. I'm working on a plan, though, by the way. If any of you guys tuned in yesterday and you heard me talking about the next DDO meta, I'm going to lay it out for you. You guys tell me what you think. I think it's brilliant, genius level stuff. So what we do is we make a Bard buff bot, right, on an alt account for our main. And we're TRing our main, okay? You take this Bard buff bot and you blast him up to level 32 and you go into macro tech and you take epic mage armor and then you take the top tier macro tech so you can turn the mage armor into untyped bonus that you then can apply to anybody outside. And what happens is they get a buff that they then keep on themselves. It looks like they're wearing, like they get this illusionary armor on them. I think it lasts a half hour. So you could park your Bard in House P with the House P buffs, send your main through at level 3 or level 2, whatever, when they start going to work on like buffs, and give them, or you could even put this Bard bot in Korthos and you could give yourself this armor buff at level 1 and run into all the quests with your armor class at like almost 100. Nothing's going to be able to hit you. Right. I mean, you probably could stand in the middle of Waterworks on R1 with your armor that high and not get hit. I mean, maybe they get you on a lucky crit or something like that. But with an armor class that high, I think that you'd be able to just face stomp everything all the way probably up until like level 18. And even then, you know, because if you're upgrading your gear, that armor class is going to stack even higher. And so, I mean, at level 10, what, like 40 is a high armor class. So you're going to have over 40 armor class if you do this. So I'm going to try it. I'll live stream it if I actually do it and see how it goes. And I was predicting that may become the new meta for Hardcore League, where you get somebody who gets a character to cap and just basically hangs out in Korthos all day handing out these free armor buffs.
At the end of the passage ahead, you can see a fortress floating in the silvery mists.
All right, there's our temp hit points. There's our color spray, which we hit, and that's the epic. You see, that was like 10,000 from that, and here's Thunderstroke. So just initially off that first cast, the epic strike, it hits about the same, but that is 70 hit point, 70 spell points versus 2. Here's the other thing that we want to make sure we point out. So I've got that slot targeted. Here's Thunderstroke. It says the slot is out of range, right? Now keep in mind, I have this familiar reach, which basically gives me a free enlarge. So it's as if I have enlarge on all my spells. I still can't hit that thing with Thunderstroke. But I can hit it with that Stormcatcher Epic Strike, because the reason that this is an S tier Epic Strike is that it has no range. If you can see it, you can hit it. And that's 2 spell points. And it does a dot. It does the initial lightning damage, and then it does a cold dot that lasts for 8 seconds after that. So that's why I was saying that it's probably, arguably, it's definitely S tier. It's probably one of the best spellcaster. I mean, we don't even, as long as we can see him. I'm not sure if I can target him from here. Yeah, I did. I just hit him again. Now, can I hit him with Thunderstroke from here? Yes, that was in large distance, and we did a lot of damage with that Thunderstroke. It was like 8,000 or something like that. So the damage on the Thunderstroke looks a little bit better. I think maybe a little bit. We'll try it out on this group over here. And keep in mind, slots all have like energy resistance. They're then super high saving throws, so these challenge quests were made to be difficult. So there's the Epic Strike. There's Thunderstroke. There's the Epic Strike. And there's Thunderstroke. Alright, here's another Epic Strike. And we'll do, there's a Thunderstroke. 5,000-ish. There's an Epic Strike. It's about 2,000. There's a Thunderstroke. There's... we hit the Reaper with Thunderstroke for like 7,000. The Epic Strike on the Reaper. So here, we'll do that red slot right there. So we hit him for 29, and then the cold dot is ticking on him. Here's the Thunderstroke. It was about 7,600. Just for giggles, so here's an Epic Strike on that slot, and here's a Greater Ruin. So again, like, they're all doing around the same amount of damage. This is a little bit less, but keep in mind, this has no range and costs 2 spell points. That is not unlimited range, costs 163 spell points, and this is not unlimited range, and this costs 70 spell points, and I have all these meta magics turned on. So I have Intensify, Empower, Maximize, Heighten, and Quicken. I don't have Embolden, but... And the other thing you can clearly see with these 2 heals and Shardstorm, it's way easier for me to survive. Like, I can get my hit points up near 2,000. The heals are up often enough. So we'll hit this dude right in front of us with our Epic Strike. So it was like, that was a proc of the Mantle, and now we'll do our Thunder Snow. 7,000. So that hit for 5, that hit for 7. I mean, they're close enough, but that one hit really hard. We got a crit. That hit for almost 20,000. So that's really good, because that crit on Thunderstroke hit for as much as a crit on a Greater Ruin. The only time we saw Ruin really, like, excel was when we were CCing the monsters and making them helpless. But I have a feeling that if we did that across the board, all of our damage would go way up, just because we just do more damage to helpless monsters, right? So it won't really matter. So I guess essentially what we come down to now is like your playstyle versus so many of the abilities are similar that it really just matters like what your playstyle is what I'm trying to say. So you may really like the idea of being able to do the burst ruin damage. I'm sort of like not really thinking it's that useful anymore. I used to really love it, but now it's sort of like I could probably let that go and not even miss it. And I would recoup 2 feats that I could use for other stuff, like, you know, I can get emboldened, I could get snow and ice crit, I could get you know, it's a lot of useful feats.
The fortress's barrier collapses in upon itself, revealing the passage beyond.
The other thing too that I could get is I could get the epic you know, like enchanter, so I could like fully become like an enchanter build, you know, like the sword chanter, which is what I was initially. I kind of modified it with ruin, but I think I'm going to drop ruin, to be honest. I think it's situationally it's good, like if you were in a static and you wanted somebody who could like nuke very specifically, like nuke something. But all the other... Alright, so there I color sprayed it. And now there I hit him with a thunderstroke. That did 10,000. I'm gonna have to color spray all these because I'm taking a lot of damage. Alright, so let's ruin that guy in the front. Yep, that was good. We'll hit that dude in the back. Color spray. And then I'll hit him with a thunderstroke. I'm not feeling like the thunderstroke is worth having, like, you know, as a level 9. Like, let's do it again. Fourth at 4,900 it looks like. I kind of want to see a spell that's level 9 hit for at least 10,000, right? There, that was 4,900 from it. But that epic strike for 2 spell points just hit him for 69, so... Alright, here's the epic strike. That's Thunderstroke. 11,200, but consider that they're helpless, so... the damage is going to be boosted a little bit. There's the epic strike. And then we'll hit this dude with a Thunderstroke. 73. Yeah, I mean, and this is a lot more survivable, being in Primal Avatar with the Shard Storm. Alright, so we'll delete these. Yeah, see, I'm not seeing... Again, I need to, like, further enhance my build to do lightning and sonic damage. But... I'm gonna try to color spray this dude. Okay, he's blinded. Alright, we'll hit him with a Thunderstroke. His shield went back up for some reason. I don't like these mobs. I'm right next to him. Alright, finally. So 18 on the Epic Strike. 48 on Thunderstroke. 79 on Greater Ruin. And he was killed by my Shard Storm. Because Shard Storm is still awesome. Yeah, that's the big secret. Shard Storm is still S tier. Definitely awesome. Not only does it hit for a ton of damage, that they do the little homing missiles, but it gives you temporary hit points.
A voice echoes in your mind.
And that's always good, right?
No further, invader.
Epic Strike.
Will not be interrupted.
That was 11,000 on that Thunderstroke. Yeah. 12,000 on our Greater Ruin. 5,200 on Thunderstroke. Epic Strike hit for 2,000. And am I helpless? It looks like I'm helpless. My ability scores are too low to cast level 9 spells. We can still do our Epic Strike. So that's something else to consider. Like, even though I'm mostly helpless, now I'm completely helpless, but before I was mostly helpless, I could still cast my Epic Strike. Now I can't cast anything. And it's not letting me cast, like, anything. Let's see if there's anything that I can cast while I'm helpless. Oh, I can do my Epic Moment. Now what are you gonna do?
The staggered Illithid lets out an ear-piercing squeak, summoning additional defenders.
Still too stupid to do my Thunderstroke. Oh, I'm too dumb to cast Arcane Storm. But we can Color Spray. And we can Charge Storm and we can Ruin. Am I helpless again? Nope. Now I am. You can still tumble though. So you can still tumble if you're helpless. I just need my stats to regenerate a little bit and then I'll be able to go back into the fight. Okay, they're back. Alright, here we go. So, let's Color Spray. Oh, I'm helpless again. I could fix it when I wake up by doing a heal scroll. Basically, it's what I need to do. I'm gonna die. Yeah, I mean, had I really wanted to survive, we needed to just cycle heal scrolls in with these other heals, basically, but I didn't do that. The reason why I didn't do that is because my Xbox controller, I play on an Xbox controller. This is the bar for the Xbox controller, and so I have to, like, actually hit the keyboard in order to do this one. And it's just a pain to do that, in case you were wondering. Usually if I'm going to get in a fight, I like put all of the abilities that I plan to use here, and then all this other stuff is like things that I can use, but it would probably be better if I were like a mouse and keyboard player. But I've just been I like beta tested with an Xbox controller. Like, I've always used an Xbox controller. I don't think I could play this game with a keyboard and a mouse. It's the same thing with Lord of the Rings Online. Like, I played that with an Xbox controller. I posted a couple of videos on my YouTube channel about me playing Star Wars The Old Republic. I use an Xbox controller for that game too. They don't have any support built into Star Wars to do an Xbox controller. I actually have to use a third-party program called XPadder in order to use a controller in that game. But it works. It does what it's supposed to do. I don't need to use XPadder in DDO because DDO has built-in, if you didn't know that, it has built-in controller. So you can just plug a controller in and play DDO. Which is why I did it back in the day, because I would submit, like, you know, my beta stuff was about how it was playing. I thought initially that they were going to release this game on console because they had controllers, and I think maybe Turbine had thought about it, but they never did. That, of course, is just me speculating. It was so long ago now. Like, it feels like a million years ago, but... 2005. Was it really that long ago? It's like almost 20 years. It's insane. Where did the time go? How was I beta testing 20 years ago when I'm only 29? I mean, yeah, so I've been 29 now for a while, but still. It doesn't seem like that's possible.